Welcome back, Cavaliers. This is Mrs. Pancratz, Assistant Principal of Discipline, coming to you to welcome you back to second semester and wishing you a happy new year. On behalf of your Cavalier administration, we want to wish you the most successful new year and semester that you can achieve. And so we have put together a Canvas refresher course for you, offering you tips to help you navigate distance learning. So let's get started. In today's agenda, I'm going to go over a few tips that you may have missed in semester one. The first thing I want to do is we're going to choose a dashboard configuration that will work for you. We want to declutter your dashboard, locate your Canvas gradebook, identify classroom gradebook scales that your teachers may be using. We want to use the what if function, choose a calendar configuration that will help you organize your studies. And lastly, we're going to read and send a message on Canvas. So let's log in. To start with dashboard configurations, you may have noticed that your Canvas dashboard defaulted to either card view or list view. In card view, you're going to notice that you have a set of tiles, one for each course that you have been enrolled in. You may have been enrolled in these courses through Aries, which is on your class schedule. You may have been added by your counselor, case carrier, club advisor, or some other faculty on campus. Or you may have been assigned a course, for example, earlier on in the year, we had one Passport to Canvas that was done by our library team. In list view, you're going to notice that the courses you need for that day will show up usually in the order that you're going to go ahead and log into them. So we see that we have our today, our date, in this case it was December 17th. Our dashboard toolbar stays the same in both viewpoints. And then we're going to have just the courses show up that we're going to need for that day. Additionally, we're going to notice assignments that are due, and they'll be listed here. And we might have any dates or logins as well that will show up. So it's a little bit more like an agenda view. In our dashboard view, our card view, we're not going to have all of those available in the cards, but we're going to see that they're located on the right-hand toolbar. So let's take a look. In order to change your dashboard configuration, you will need to click over here on this little snowman or 3 vertical dots that you see in the ring. A drop-down menu will appear. We have card view, list view, or recent activity. For card view, this is the view you see here and usually the default. For list view, you'll simply highlight the list and click. For recent activity, that's going to show where you've been in the last day up to a week or so. On the right-hand side of card view, we also notice that we still see our agenda or our to-do list, as well as our recent feedback. In list view, we see the date, today, Thursday, December 17th in this case. We see the classes that we'll need to log into. We'll see assignments that are due that day, and then also shows whether you've completed the item or if it's still on your to-do list. On the right-hand side, you will notice that you have the points that the assignment is worth, the time that it's due, and whether you've submitted it, and whether it's been graded. On the upper right-hand corner, you will also notice an icon for your gradebook, as well as an icon for alerts. Your snowman offers additional options for you to pull down from. And again, our left-hand side dashboard toolbar stays the same. In card view, you will have a tile, one for each course that you were enrolled in. You'll see the course title, your teacher's name, whether it's a year or a semester-long course. You'll have announcements down here, assignments that need to get turned in. You'll see whether or not you have any communications with the teacher, as well as any files you need to access. On the right-hand side, you'll have your to-do list. So we see assignment, an announcement, and a calendar event, for example, a Zoom meeting. We see feedback, in other words, grades. So we see what the assignment was and what was earned. And lastly, at the bottom right-hand side, we see a view grade tile here that will allow us to access our gradebook. Now it's time for you to stop and give this a try. Once you've chosen your dashboard configuration, you may notice that if you choose the card view, that you have extra tiles that may not align with your schedule that you've received in the mail or that you see on Aries. So in this case, we see that this student has 9 tiles, yet is only enrolled in 6 courses. Where are these extra tiles from? They may have come from counselors, case carriers, club advisors, or any other faculty that may have wanted to add you to a list. If you would like to just view the courses that you're enrolled in for organizational purposes, you can hide these, not eliminate, just hide these by decluttering your dashboard. So let's give that a try. To declutter your dashboard, you're going to go to the left hand toolbar located in that blue stripe underneath your account profile. You will click on courses, and you're going to notice that all of your current courses will be listed here. To choose the ones you want to see on your dashboard on a daily basis, you simply need to click on the star. The star will then be highlighted, and you'll need to choose all of the ones you want to see. So the highlighted ones will be the ones that appear on your dashboard. Click back over to your dashboard, and now you see that our student is just viewing their 6 tiles that they're enrolled in. So we've eliminated 3. Nothing changes on the to-do list, nothing changes on the feedback list. If you want to go back and view a tile later on, for example, your counselor is going to be offering a course, simply go back to that course menu and star that counselor tile. Let's stop and declutter your dashboard. Now we're going to locate your Canvas gradebook. So as noted previously, and I'll show you again, if you're in card view, your gradebook option is going to be located on the bottom right-hand side. If you're in list view, your gradebook option will be in the upper right-hand side. So I'll go over those in just a few minutes. One cool feature about the Canvas gradebook is that it's going to give you a live view of each of your grades in percent value. So we see here that our student here is doing pretty well. Each of these course titles is actually a live link. The cool thing about this is that it's going to allow you to click. So for example, if our student were to click here on Mr. Zeidema's class, it will then take her or him over to the gradebook where the student can now see the course. They can arrange this by due date, and they're going to go through and they're going to see each of their assignments, the score they received, the number of points possible, and whether or not feedback has been given or if any conversation has taken place. So in this case, we see that our student had a conversation here. Perhaps your teacher is giving you a suggestion for improvement or a pat on the back, things of that nature, and whether or not it's been graded. To find this in list view, you're going to be looking for this icon. So this is your gradebook. It looks like a little notebook with a check mark. You will find that in the upper right-hand corner of your viewing portal when you're in list view, located next to the bell. In card view, you will need to scroll all the way down to the bottom of your screen, and you will actually find a little tile here that clicks on view grades. In both instances, you will be taken to the exact same gradebook. The what if function is a really cool feature that allows you to predict how certain assignment scores will affect your overall grade. When dealing with multiple assignments, the what if function can help you prioritize your to-do list. So we saw in first semester that some students had multiple assignments that they had to turn in, and they got a little lost of where to start. The what if function can help you prioritize assignments so that instead of necessarily completing all 50 assignments, you can prioritize them to say, okay, I'm going to do assignment 10, which is a test first, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to do assignment, 8, which was a project of some kind. With any assignment and with any course, it is always in your best interest to work with your teacher and keep your open lines of communication, because your teacher at the end of the day is going to have the best strategy for you to improve your grades. But the what if function is one way to kind of help you create a priority list. So let's try it out. For the what if function, the first thing we want to do, just like we did in accessing our gradebook, is we want to locate a gradebook. So in this case, this particular student is taking a forensic science class. They're going to then go over to their teacher's gradebook, and we're going to see that your teachers have the options of weighting assignments. Some teachers will weight their assignment categories, and some teachers will leave them where there is no weighting assignment, so that they'll all assignments are basically worth the same amount or same percentage points. In this case, we see this teacher has chosen to do labs and projects as 25%, tests and quizzes as 45%, homework is 10%, the final exam was 10%, employability, which this teacher defines as showing up to class each time, being on time, turning assignments in on time, things of that nature. Imported assignments was a 0%, and it was a total of 100. So I would ask this particular student to locate which assignments are worth the most. In this case, we have highlighted labs and projects as well as tests and quizzes as worth the most at 45 and 25%. Once we have identified which items are worth the most, we're now going to scroll down the list in the gradebook. And once you hover over it, you will notice your assignment will turn blue as shown here. Once it's highlighted blue, it will then reveal to you which category that assignment falls under. So the assignment on its own is called the Henry System Pre-Lab. Once hovered over, we see that it has labs and projects designation, so we know it's worth 25% of that grade. We see a due date and time. This particular student did not turn this in and has received a 0. Currently, this student is receiving a D+ in the class. Let's see what the completion of this assignment will do to the student's grade. Still hovering over that class, or that assignment, excuse me, we see that it is highlighted blue. We're going to now click on the 0. So the 0 here will then open up a box like so. The box will click 0, and we're going to go ahead and type over that 0 a number 18. So we're going to assume that this student is going to receive an 18 out of 22. This is where you're going to want to check with your teacher or your syllabus to see what missing or late work is assigned. So in this case, the teacher reduced the grade by, I believe, 10%, and then the student may have missed a few. So she puts in an 18, or he puts in an 18, and you click enter. A blue arrow will show up next to the assignment, indicating that this is a what if score. Now we're going to cruise back up to the upper right-hand corner of that gradebook to see what it did. We noticed that just completing one assignment took that student from a 68%, which was a D+, up to a 70%, which is a C-. So for those of us trying to achieve our A through Gs, this is a huge improvement. This is how you use the what if score. So this student would want to prioritize this lab, perhaps over a smaller assignment, to make sure that they get the quickest or the biggest improvement for their efforts. Underneath that, we'll see show saved what if scores. If you decide to save your what if scores, you can then print them to create a to-do list for yourself. When you're ready to go back to your actual scores, you click this. This will erase all of the what if scores. And then down here, we show the details. Let's stop and give this a try. Choosing a calendar. The calendar mode in your Canvas is much like the agenda that we used to use, either in junior high for our freshmen or our paper agendas that we used to receive in our classes. So you're going to go ahead and hover over your calendar, and you're going to notice that you have some options. You can go ahead and go by monthly view. In the monthly view, you will have assignments and due dates that are color-coded by class. In weekly view, you're going to have less to look at. The assignments will still appear very clearly and color-coded. And lastly, agenda view. Agenda view is going to give you a list of assignments with due dates. Let's look and see. In monthly view, depending on the month, you may notice that it looks a little busy. So in this case, I'm only showing you about 2 weeks, but if you were able to see the entire calendar here, you're going to notice that there are a lot of things to look at. This particular student has 4 different assignments that were due on the 30th, I believe, of November, They had one assignment due on December 3rd, one assignment on December 4th. You will see all assignments located in that viewpoint all at one time. It can look a little bit cluttered. To change your viewpoint, you will notice that you have week, month, and agenda. If the student chooses the weekly view, they now see a less cluttered version of their assignments, and they also see a time of day. So it tells you the range of which your assignment is due, and it gives you a week long span. In agenda view, you will notice that you have your assignments by date, and you also have any dates or calendar events like Zoom things. In this case, we see a college application party. We see assignments, again, with our little pencil and paper. Once your assignment is done, it will go ahead and cross it off of your list for you. So if you're using a paper agenda, I would definitely go to this view and perhaps type in or write in your agenda so that you can have something to cross off, but also know that Canvas will do it for you as well. Let's go ahead, stop, and give this a try. Canvas messages and emails. So Canvas allows you to also email your teachers. You're going to notice two different emails or alerts that are going to pop up on your screen. The first one is known as a Canvas message or an email. Inbox messages are similar to emails or text messages. They allow you to contact your instructors directly, and they keep a running record of communication so that you can see the number of times that you and your instructor have conversed with one another. Alerts, on the other hand, are on the upper right-hand part of your screen. You will notice them here. They look like a little bell, and the number of alerts to view shows up right there, like a hypertext. So in this case, see there's 29 alerts to look at. Alerts are going to notify you of changes to your Canvas account, for example, due dates, grade changes, or announcements. Alerts usually go out on a school-wide or a class-wide basis, whereas inbox messages are specific to you. So these are important that you read both, but your inbox messages may be something you want to prioritize if you're expecting a message from a teacher, a counselor, or any other faculty member. Let's stop and give that a try. Cavaliers, I know distance learning is tough, but you definitely have this and you have us in your corner. If you need any assistance at all, you can always contact your counselors, your teachers, your administrative staff because we are here to help you succeed. Thank you for joining today's lessons.